Okay, everybody, welcome back here. I know I haven't spoke to you since, Tuesday night, but it's Thursday now. We are in Columbus Junction, Iowa. Like I said, we've just been doing a lot of little short stuff here and there. Don't mind the mess back there. That's sleep a little, wake up, do a little more, sleep a little, or so haven't made my bed all week, stuff like that. Let the dog out, do fun stuff. But there's a Tyson plant here in Columbus Junction. I've loaded out of here before, but not in a reefer. I've hauled grease out of here before when I pulled a bulk tanker years ago. But I booked the load this morning. It's going to St. Joe, Missouri. That'll put me about 90 miles from the house. So we're gonna deliver that tomorrow morning. We're gonna go home. So this has been a really, really good week. Gotta go home for the weekend, and we'll start the party again next week. So real quick, I wanted to give a little shout out here to Las Palmas. There's a little Mexican joint. If you've been a follower, subscriber of the channel for the last year, you know that I am an addict. I have a taco problem. I've been trying to go to meetings to no success, but like a healer, I can sniff them out. There's a wonderful little Mexican joint here right on, I believe this is a county highway 70 here in Columbus Junction. So if you ever come to the Tyson in Columbus Junction or passing through, I highly recommend making the stop here. I believe you can get in the parking lot in the back and there's not a lot of room, but there's enough room. I'm bobtail right now because they've got my trailer down there at Tyson. So, anyway, yeah, there's Las Palmas. I think it was an old bar at some time, and they've converted it into a Mexican restaurant. Super nice staff, good prices, wonderful food. And then this is County Road 70 here, I believe is the number. So anyway, let's get the rig fired up, head back up there and go sit in the lot and wait for the phone call to get loaded. Glamour shot. Hey. Glamour shot. And they wonder why we have a bad reputation. Because most of them, no, I don't want to say most of them, a lot of them are slobs. I mean, there's squashed coffee cups and trash bags and tire casings and everything. I mean, at one time this was undeveloped land, and now it's been developed only to be trashed. I don't understand it. I had a gentleman today come and stick a note in my door when I went in to shower on Monmouth. I was climbing out of the back of my trailer, and before I went to load, they said I needed a clean trailer. So I went in and picked up some miscellaneous, you know, there was a couple papers and a couple pieces of plastic wrap from the pallets. I picked it up and I threw it away. Well, there was blue chip pallet shreds, I guess if you will, that somebody else had swept out of the back of their trailer, and it just so happened to be in the spot that I parked. I mean, keep in mind, I pulled in this spot at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a gentleman who I commend him for kind of wanting to stand up, but left me a note in my door in my door handle that said, "Clean up your mess or else." I guess I don't know what or else meant, but it wasn't my mess to clean up, but I went and cleaned it up best that I could. I figured don't want to take any chances if he was sitting on the other side of the parking lot or something waiting on me. Not that I can't hold my own, I'm just a non-confrontational guy, but do your part. Keep the truck stops clean. Let's keep everybody happy, and let's just clean up our acts, I guess. So anyway, we're in Bethany, Missouri. We're at the Casey's. We're stopping and we're letting Diesel out. Almost forgot his name. It's a good thing that wasn't my wife. I'd be dead. Let him out. I ate a little bit of dinner. I kind of engorged on tacos, so didn't need anything too big to fill me up. But truck stop's full. There's one spot left here, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to get into it because if you look, you got to come around and the front line there where we're parked and come around this way to get into the spots, and that's the open spot. There's a curb there. I don't know why that guy's parked there, but I mean, maybe a box truck or something could get in there. But yeah, you can see they're packed in here. I think there's room for 25 trucks. Or that middle trailer, truck and trailer, and then the spot next to me there's a Martin truck. He pulled in shortly after I got here. And then of course Swift, either on the side of the road or on the curb like usual. So, and then there's Diesel. There's the man with the plan. So get back in the light here. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna head to St. Joe. Google Maps says it's 24/7. I haven't got anybody to answer the phone, but it is a first come first served load. So if we can get kicked off tonight, maybe make a fresh cup of coffee, we might just go on home. We'll see what happens. So anyway, there's your little update for you. I think he's about done going to the bathroom, and then we are out of here. So we will talk with you guys in a little bit. camera for my kids.
I was.
Need to get a good truck wash and some wheel polish. But I wanted to talk real quick a little bit about my vibration issue that I've been having. Long story short, what we wound up doing to try to mediate it is lowering the ride height. So I'll get my right here. See if I can get it shown up there. Right here is the leveling valve, which we'll have to maybe look at that later, but that's what regulates the airbags from overinflating or underinflating. And so this truck naturally sits like this because it's on air ride. It doesn't sit like this, like a stock truck on springs on the front. So I was thinking that lowering the ride height, because it was about an inch high, would hopefully help take a little tension off the drive shaft. And I think it's helped a little bit, but not enough. And I'm freezing cold, and we'll finish talking about this inside. But first, Diesel here wanted to show you how big of a boy he's getting to be. So here's how we do our step setup. Set it all up like that. It is broke here for some reason. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get my money back. Hasn't lasted very long, but let's go. Load up. Go on. That's a good boy. Are you a good boy? He's like, well, I think so. My tail says so. Go lay down. I'll be in a second. Okay. And then, just like an accordion, we fold it up, set it there, and that's that. Okay, so anyway, talking about the ride height, it's the warmest it's been all week, but it's still too cold for me. My big meaty hands are frozen. I know it's frozen. Trust me, I've only seen the movie 79 times. But so yeah, a factory truck, say, would sit like this. Well, with air ride, even with the air inflated, my truck sits like this. It's always at an angle. So we checked the drive line. I mean, you guys know that shortly after I bought the truck, I put all new U-joints in it. I put a new yoke on the backside of the transmission. I put shocks in it. Everything. So I took it back to the shop last week. I said, hey, go over everything. Did we mess something up? Did we look at, did we miss something? What's going on? Because this has a very centralized vibration. It's not at all speeds. It's not at low speeds, and it's not at really high speeds. It's in between like 14th and 15th gear, between 48 and 60 mile an hour. 45 and 60, we'll say. I do not think it's the transmission, because my transmission temperatures are not abnormal at all. I've dropped all three gearboxes on the truck, transmission and rear ends. Nothing abnormal came out of them, looks out of whack. So, like I said, basically we came to the conclusion that the ride height was too tall. We lowered the ride height a little. That does seem to have made a difference, but has not cured the problem. So, February 7th, I'm taking the truck to Inland Truck Parts and Service in Des Moines, and we're just going to have to go through it, and something is awry somewhere. And I'm going to put my bet out there that it has to do with either, it's in the drive line somewhere. Because you can kick the truck out of gear going down a hill in that range, and it's still doing it. It's not so. The transmission is is turning, but it's not in gear. I've depressed the clutch in going down the road. It still does it, so I don't think it's anything in the clutch. But it's something that's turning and vibrating. So we're gonna take it up there. I'm thinking it's probably gonna have the shaft pulled out, rebalanced, and they're probably going to have to adjust the pitch of the shaft I guess compensate for it. So we'll see. The only other thing I'm thinking, we've checked carrier bearings already. I'm done a little bit more research, and I have heard some guys say that, you know, they've had vibrations and it turned out to be the carrier bearing, even though when you push up on the drive shaft, there's no play. Basically that the carrier bearing was bad, and you never would have really have known it. So we'll see what happens, I guess. I hope it doesn't get too expensive, but the way things are going, I don't really have my hopes up. We'll see. So anyway, last stop of the week. We're here at NORAM in St. Joe. We're just going to deadhead home. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from here. Back home, and then we're gonna park the truck and go home. So thanks for coming along for the ride again, and we'll talk to you here later on in the day. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're home. It is not even noon on Friday. So we left Monday here. We left the shop at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there. Trying to think. Somewhere. Anyway, I know I left about an hour later than I wanted because my brakes were froze up. And I didn't tell you about that, guys. As you've seen in the last video, there was truck didn't want to start, reefer didn't want to start, da-da-da-da-da. Well, when I went to move the truck, went to town, got fueled, done stuff like that, I got stuck in the driveway here like 3 times. And then later, when I left Monday to go to Osceola to load to start the week, my trailer brakes were froze up. So I had to go to town, get a whole bunch of airline antifreeze, run that through the system, which worked like the charm. It was really, really froze. So anyway, my point of that is, we were gone for 3.5, 4 days. We done pretty good. So, it's that time to do a little bit of a breakdown here. I do want to say real quick too, a couple of you have requested, like a video of me doing, actually booking the loads and doing what I do. And that is definitely something I'm looking into. I've downloaded a, screen recording app so I can kind of record, what I'm doing on the load board, and then I just haven't figured out how to put my voice over what I'm doing. So as I get that worked out, we'll go from there, and we'll try to show you a little more in depth, I guess, what I do. So that being said, shop to shop, Monday to Friday, 1,681 miles. Whew. I'm just wrong. We did $8,100 in 1,681 miles. That brings us to a running rate per mile of $4.81. So not quite as good as our Yakima trip out and back and everything. We were a little over $5, but here's the thing: I didn't put 2,000 miles on the truck. I didn't work hard. Didn't really have any issues. The truck did, I believe, start to gel up again Wednesday morning. It actually died in the middle of the parking lot at the Loves in Schuyler, Nebraska. So thankfully, prepared. I pulled the primary filter off, doused it with diesel 911, some anti-gel, recharged or put the filter back on, reprimed the system, bled the air, and it fired right over and it's ran great. So I don't know. I'm beginning to think I might just go ahead and put new fuel lines on it. I didn't see, when I pulled the filter off, there wasn't any gelled fuel, but I think what's happening is, it's on the outside of the paper filter inside the canister that's obviously gelling. Last time it was gelled all over the place, but this time I think it was still sucking some fuel, but it was just plugged inside the filter. So we got that handled and taken care of. Other than that, it was a flawless week. We got $2,000 to go to Osceola to Minneapolis, $2,000 to go from Minneapolis to Schuyler, Nebraska, $2,400 from Lincoln. We did headed down to Lincoln, Monmouth, Illinois, and then we did headed from Monmouth over to Columbus Junction, ate wonderful tacos, and then went down to St. Joe, unloaded that this morning, and we're back home before noon. That load paid $1,700, giving us our grand total of $8,100. So, in fuel, I put $360.53 in my last video before I took off. Put half tank fuel on, and then I put $853 in fuel in Worthington, Minnesota on Tuesday night. So out of that, we had $1,213.53 in fuel, and out of our $8,100, that leaves us with $6,886.47. Pretty good week. Obviously, truck payment, depreciation, all that stuff comes out of there, and then I always try to leave myself a very generous maintenance fund, for the inevitable. I guess whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, like I said, we were talking earlier, truck goes Monday, February 7th to Inland Truck Sales, or Truck Service, up in Des Moines to get this vibration figured out. I have done a little bit more research and talked with some more friends, and I'm kind of maybe back to thinking it could still be a bad carrier bearing. I've always been under the impression that when a carrier bearing goes, you'll have the play in the drive shaft. But another buddy explained to me that, there's a dampener in there that could maybe go bad, and wouldn't actually show the signs of the bearing being bad. So, I don't know. That could be a possibility, but we're just going to send it up there and let the pros, figure it out and get it squared away. And truthfully, I think once this is taken care of, I really, really think that's going to be about it that we're going to have to do to this truck. I mean, it runs good. It doesn't get very good fuel mileage, but not necessarily looking for that. I mean, I am looking for that, but I'm all over the place. But my point is, this truck runs good. I mean, I've really done everything to it, or has already had everything done to it. I mean, before I put it on the road, I put $9,000 into it, in U-joints and yokes and shocks and everything like that. So it really should. I mean, it's mechanically sound. It shouldn't need anything after this. So let's hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But I'm going to ramble all day. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go pick up. My wife and I got new cell phones. I think she's going to take me to lunch, or maybe I'm going to take her to lunch. How's that? Can't remember how that works. And then Diesel's out there running like a complete idiot, and I can't blame him. I kind of want to do the same myself. So anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride this week. Fairly good, fairly easy week. Those are the ones we like, and I appreciate it. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe now. I try to put out as much content as I possibly can. It's strictly all trucking related, and also includes me talking for extended periods of time. If that's something you like, come back and see me. That being said, have a great weekend. Stay good. Stay healthy. Catch you on the flip side.